Pickleball is constantly changing and evolving each year. I put together a list of the 5 most crucial shots you need in your game in order to keep up with the fast play style in the year 2026. Let's get right into it. First is the drive drop combo. This is a must-have strategy you need to follow for these 2 very obvious reasons. The first is when you're hitting third shot drives at your opponent, they could potentially make an error and hit the ball into the net, giving you a free point. It's an offensive way to get to the kitchen line. If you're only hitting your third shot drops, your opponents are never really going to ever miss the drop. All it's doing is assisting you in getting to the kitchen, but you're never getting a free point. Secondly, if your opponent is hitting really strong returns, meaning you're having to hit your third shot off of your back foot, it's very difficult to hit an accurate third shot drop like this, but it's very easy to just drive that first ball and then get a much easier ball to drop. You're essentially just giving yourself an easier drop every time you drive that first shot. The second skill we need to have is the ability to hit very strong return of serves, meaning the opponent serves the ball to me and I'm just cranking that return of serve, applying pressure to them. Hitting good returns puts your opponents in a really tough situation because if you're just completely cranking this ball and your opponents are stuck at the baseline with a ball coming in hot, it's really hard for them to accurately hit that shot. They might have to resort to drive and dropping like we said previously. On the flip side, if you hit short returns that land lofty in the middle of the box, your opponent can either tee off and rip them, or what's even more scary, and I hate getting played against me, is if they hit aggressive roll drops. Something like this, that's so hard because if you're running up to the line and somebody hits that ball at your feet, you're going to pop that up. So we want to stay out of giving away free points. The key to hitting a good return of serve is super simple. The mistake that players usually make is one of 2 things. The first is when that ball's coming to them, they stand here, hit the ball, and then run. But the issue is they're too late getting to the kitchen line. Or what they'll do is as the ball's coming, they completely just run through their shot and then you lack control and power. So we're actually gonna combine the 2 and show you what's the best of both worlds. So as that ball's coming to me, I actually wanna use my first step and time it with me hitting the ball to use momentum and stability to hit it. So this is what it should look like. The ball's coming, first step, bam, and then I can dart forward like that. The third skill that's a must-have is being able to handle your opponent's drive. So you make your way up to this kitchen line, your opponent winds up and smashes a ball at you. How do you handle their drive to put pressure on them? The mistake that almost all players struggle with when they're learning this is they do this one thing wrong. And what that is when they get up to the kitchen line, they start with their paddle close to them, and then when that ball gets hit at them, they actually reach out and extend to the ball like this. The issue is if your timing isn't perfect, if you're a little bit off, you'll miss into the net or miss long. So you have to be perfect in order for that to work. The proper way to do this is when you see your opponent lining up to drive the ball at you, we want to actually have our ready position not here, but actually out in front like this. So when the ball is hit to us, all we have to do is track and make contact to the ball. There's no more timing that can be mistaken. Jumping out of the video for one quick second, I have something epic I want to share with you. Over the past year and a half, I've spent it behind the scenes writing Pickleball in 60 seconds, woo woo woo, which is now available for pre-order. You can read the first chapter for completely free. Head over to tannersbook.com. You can get that chapter sent right to your email. You're going to love the book. All right, let's get back to that video. The fourth skill that we need to add to our game is actually speeding balls up off of the bounce. This is super important because it's an investment in the match. Meaning, if I'm in a tournament playing a match and I don't speed up any balls off the bounce, my opponent is gonna feel no pressure. As soon as they hit a dink, they're gonna lean in and just get ready to take my ball out of the air. Where on the flip side, if you start your match off by speeding balls up, the entire time when it's 8-8 or 10-8 and it's really close or a tight match, your opponents are gonna be thinking in their brain, they do have that speed up, so I'm gonna be a little bit more timid, which could often lead to a mistake. There's 3 main rules we wanna follow when we're speeding balls up off of the bounce. Number 1 is we only wanna speed those balls up when they're out wide on the court. So if they're from like my shoe over, these are only the balls I'm looking to speed up when I'm attacking off the bounce. Anything that's like in the middle of my box or the middle of the court, I don't really ever speed up off the bounce. And the reason is, when the ball's bouncing out here, we have so many more options, making it difficult for our opponent to cover. So from here, I can go down the line, I can go through the middle, or I can hit an aggressive dink cross court. I have so many options, keeping the opponent guessing. If I'm in the middle of the court here, speeding the ball up, I can't go that way, I'm gonna go out of bounds. All I can do is go straight on or straight this way, so my opponents have less to cover. Secondly, we wanna choose a target on our opponent. We don't just wanna speed up mindlessly. So I have Ronan here. I'm gonna show you the main spots that I look for when I'm attacking. Number 1 is I wanna go for his chicken wing, which is his paddle side shoulder. So if I'm gonna dink rally with him and I speed up, that high ball there, you see, it kind of catches him. It's weird to hit that shot. The second spot is gonna be his paddle side hip. So like right here, it's very difficult to produce power like this. So here we go, watch this. Good, you see that? So I might get him, or he might not be able to hit it hard, even if he gets it back. And then lastly, I wanna try to hit him extended out wide on his backhand, especially if he only has a one-hander instead of a two-hander. It's very difficult to get around the ball and produce power. Look, it's only my wrist. So this is what that would look like. Here we go. Good, so you see it pops up and it's easy. It doesn't really matter where we choose to attack. We just wanna be unpredictable. If I just sped up 3 balls at his chicken wing here, I don't wanna hit the next one here again. Maybe I wanna hit him down that sideline. I just wanna keep them guessing. These are just the main spots that we should go for when we attack. Number 3 is when you do hit that speed up, you can't expect to hit a winner. A lot of people hit this shot and think they've won the point. Instead, you wanna treat this shot like a 1-2 punch in boxing. When you're boxing, you're not just doing this all day. This is the setup, and then this is the finisher. Exact same concept here. After I speed that ball up, I'm instantly ready to put that next ball away. Never caught off guard. Skill number 5 is having fast hands. With pickleball getting faster and faster and your opponents attacking and driving more and more, you need to be quick and confident in your hands, or your opponents will bully you all match. The way we do this is extremely simple. The first part of it all is we want to keep our feet and our base completely still. Notice I'm not stepping around like I have happy feet. That's going to slow me down. Instead, I have a completely still base, and I'm only using my arm to react like I have a plate of food on my head. I don't want that plate to fall off. I want to keep that plate steady. I got to eat later. So I'm going to be standing like this. Next, for how we produce power, most players are actually taught this wrong when they're first starting out, usually by an instructor. So I'm gonna save you some time here. So most players are taught that they push with their shoulder, like this. The issue is, you're not gonna get any power. All of the power on this shot actually comes from your wrist snapping. So it's like this motion. See, my wrist is cocked, I snap and come back. I always hit and reload, ready for that next shot. I'm never swinging out, because then I'm gonna get hit in the chest. I wanna hit and get ready for that next ball. The last step of this is, instead of trying to blow a hole through my opponent's chest, hitting it as hard as I can, I'm actually fine with taking a little bit of speed or pace off and actually trying to hit it down toward my opponent's knees, because then he's forced to hit up, which gives me an easier next shot. So this is the proper way. So here we go. Good. So see that? When I do that, he really has no chance of winning the point. Let's do one more. Good. So see, it gave me an easier next ball to put away. Now here's what happens if you just try to hit it hard back at his chest. So when I go back at his chest, I'm allowing him to now hit down at me, which will ultimately put me in trouble. So here we go. Good. Good. So see that? If I don't hit it down first, my opponent, who's a good player, is gonna try to hit down. You're fighting for that low ground pretty much in this exchange. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Make sure to subscribe and comment down below which tip you're going to add to your game. I'll catch you in next week's video.
YouTube thinks you should watch this video next, and so do I. Keep getting better at pickleball.